Alrighty. Okay, are we ready to start? Alright, I'm MarquisDan. This is Wizards & Warriors 3. It is the 4th game in the Wizards & Warriors franchise, so if that title tells you anything, this is going to be a lot of fun, a little bit janky. This is a... Oh, let me reset your time. I'll give you a countdown. So it's going to go blank, and as soon as you see the town, that's time start. So 3, 2, 1, go. All right, here we go. So this is a late 90s Metroidvania with almost no combat. It was designed by a company called Zippo Games, which is a subsidiary of Rare, same people who brought you like Battletoads, Snake Rattle and Roll, and stuff like that. They ran out of money like 3/4 of the way through the production of this game, so it ended up, their company got bought by Rare and finished by different developers, so it's a little rough around the edges. A lot of this stuff didn't get implemented. It's kind of an unfinished game. Like I mentioned before, this is a Metroidvania game, so you can go anywhere you want, but you're going to run into different kind of barriers that you can't get through until you have the right tools. The category I'm doing is a Glitchless category, so I'm going to go around and get all the tools in the order the developers intended. And the tools all come from these little guilds that you run through. So there's a Thief Guild, a Wizard Guild, and a Knight Guild, and 3 levels of each, so I'll be doing a total of 9. The Thief Guilds are all these little auto-scrollers that get more difficult as you go through. This first one just kind of teaches you how to play. They're also great spots for donations, so if anybody wants to do donations during this run, I'm going to have some fantastic spots for you guys.
All right, we do have 2 donations.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
All right, we have $5 from Gargan100 saying, "Go MarquisDan! We are rooting for you here at Chater Nation." And then one from Vermingot saying, "Thanks for this amazing event."
All right, thanks very much. Thanks, Gargan. Gargan's a good guy. He speedruns Beetlejuice and Sonic Spinball and all kinds of weird games like that. So on that boss, I did a little AI manipulation. If you stand in a certain spot and do alternate up and up forward attacks, the boss AI loops and never attacks you, and it just constantly dodges. Makes the fight pretty easy. The next thing we're going to do here, since we need keys to open these doors, I just need to run up to the shop and buy all the rest of the keys I'm going to need for the rest of the game. This guy, fortunately, sells keys that will open up any door. Not very good security in this town. Bad side about keys, though, of course, they only work once. This here is the bouncer boss that we'll be fighting a little bit later because that incentive got met. The thief costume that I got first, it lets me sneak past that guy. Otherwise, he'll attack you. He's called the bouncer, or the fashion bouncer, because if you're not in the right outfit, he's going to fight you. So to join a guild, you always have to go out and get the statue first. Every guild has a corresponding statue: silver, bronze, and gold. The bronze statues, fortunately, are always just kind of out in the open, no boss or anything. You just gotta go find them. Alright, so this is our first wizard guild. Wizard guilds are just kind of jumping on onions. I don't know what else to say. There's just a bunch of onions to jump on in front of some shag carpets, and you go up to the top. Like I said, this game's a little bit janky. I love it so much, but it's just a little weird. There. So I promised you a glitchless run, and then I should narrow that definition to say there will be no glitches on purpose. I glitched through that platform a little bit because the corners of these things are really not there. So if you land on the corners, it's just going to throw you right down the whole guild. Alright, for this boss, probably the easiest boss in the game, there's a safe spot here where he can't hit you. It's just a few pixels wide, so as long as I'm standing in that boss will never ever be able to attack me. Alright, so there's one more level 1 guild to get, but before we do that, we're going to go ahead and get our silver thief statue, because it's kind of on the way. We don't want to use the wizard costume very much at all, because it is super slow. We're going to stay as the thief as much as we can, because he runs the fastest. Sneaking by this dude. Just some light platforming here. Alright. The up button on my D-pad is starting to go out. It sometimes hits itself twice. So this guy, we just juggle him around the room. If I miss an attack or run into him, he's going to start jumping all over the place and filling the whole room up with fire. So we're going to hope that I don't miss. Like that. I just wanted to show you guys what happened. That's fine. There we go. Alright, so now you'll notice this whole town is kind of built on rickety little, I don't know, stilts. All the buildings have stilts between them. And on top of this whole city is a castle. Like, I don't know who the architect was, but they did either a fantastic job or a terrible job. Usually I don't run to jump there. I'm trying to be marathon safe here and do all the easy tricks. Alright, so here, we just go in here. And now we're in the castle. Like I said, this whole thing just exists on top of the whole rickety town. Don't know how it works. And this is our last bronze statue, so we can go ahead and join the Knights Guild. The Knights Guilds are all RNG, so the first one's not bad, but when we get to the third one, I'm going to need some decent luck. But the good side is this is really jamming music. I'm just going to let it play for a little bit. Okay, I'm going to try for like a last pixel jump on this. Hopefully I get it. Didn't quite get it. Alright, this boss here, you might not even be able to tell, but I'm interrupting his sword with mine, and that causes him to go into a rest state. Unfortunately, his attack pattern speeds up to the lower his health gets, so I wasn't able to do that for the whole fight. But the best scenario is that he only hits you once. And there we've got all our level 1 guilds already, so we're making pretty good time. 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes. So the big strategy, the overall strategy in this game is try to beat the thief as much as possible because he's so fast. Secondary to that, you don't want to change costumes because it eats up time. And so this is the 70s castle. I really like the wallpaper here. I'd like to get some for my house. But the reason I'm saying is the knight is because we're actually just jumping. We're not moving left and right very much. So it would be slower to switch to the thief. Alright, this boss is guarding the Silver Knight statue. Stood just a little bit too close to him. If you do it right, he doesn't even get to talk, but he landed on me. But he's really easy. You just juggle him and get him to die by that door. So we've got 2 of our 3 silver statues already. Now we've got to go to the guilds and turn them in and get our next level powers. And for this, I am just going to jump off the side of a castle, which is always fun. Everybody likes jumping off castles. And I'm going to land on this hobo. He's going to break my fall. Thank you. Alright, here's the level 2 Thief's Guild. This is the hardest guild in the game. Well, no, it's not. The wizard one's harder, but it's the hardest Thief's Guild because there are trapdoors here that will throw you in the spikes. You just have to know which ones to take. And I missed my jump a little bit there because I was showing off. No worries, didn't lose much time. But yeah, this door, any new player in the game will get tricked by that door. The boss at the end of this one is not going to work like the first thief boss. There is maybe a 3 or 4 pixel wide spot I've had to stand in, and then there's hitboxes you can't see that I'm going to make overlap that makes the boss dodge, and he can do that 3 times in a row, and I should hopefully get enough hits in to kill him without doing more than 1 cycle. But we'll see how it goes. Alright, that was really good. He should be dead as soon as he goes back here. That one might be the best kill I've ever had on that boss, so that's good. usually don't get 2 dodges on the first cycle.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
Yeah, go nuts.
All right, we have $10 from Fake Geek Girl saying, Dan, please do not bring shame upon our home. Love, your wife.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, quick shout out to my wife. I was going to wait till the end of the run to do that. She is at home in Des Moines with the baby, so I can come up to Minnesota and play video games. So I appreciate her very much, and thank you very much for the donation. All right, so this little green dude, you need to kill him with the sword. And that's like the only thing we do with the sword the whole game. I don't catch that. The crowbar, though, you use to... I have to fight a boss with that crowbar later. It's pretty fantastic. The crowbar's pretty glitched out, actually. It only has a 1-pixel hitbox when you're ducking. But here we're fighting a snake. It's one of your standard video game, just shoot a snake until all its pieces disappear type of snake. The developer said they based this off of a boss from R-Type. I've never really played R-Type, so I couldn't tell you. Facing the wrong way. Oh, he's down to 1 segment. Look at him. You have to really lead the boss when he's down to 1 piece because he goes so much faster than your shots. Alright, there's our last silver statue, so we're 2/3 of the way done with the statues already. And we're going to do a little bit of platforming here and take some secret doors to get around the cave system. Because if you don't take secret doors, you've got to climb all the way to the top, move over, climb all the way down. That wastes so much time. Just take secret doors. Went in the wrong costume here. It's really easy to do, because the whole last third of the game, you have to enter the doors as a thief. But the guildmasters don't like it if you're in the wrong costume. But every single guild after this, I have to use the thief costume to open the door. So it's just a bad habit to get into. So here's onion jumping part 2. It's exactly the same as the first guild. They just added 1 little monster about 2/3 of the way through that doesn't do anything. Like I said, this game is a little bit unfinished. They didn't have time to add in all the monsters, didn't have time to add in all the combat. But it is a fun, janky mess. If you like speedrunning Metroidvanias, but you don't like fighting, like this is the game for you. Like if you're really bad at combat. This is all just the platforming part. So this boss does not have iframes, so he dies as fast as I can mash that button. Alright, so what that gets us is a little bit of kind of a terrible force field that only works on one thing in the game, so we won't be seeing that costume a whole heck of a lot. Alright, I'm going to try to beat this monster to this platform. Looks like I got it. You have like a 1/4 second window to not get hit there. And we're going to take a secret door up here all the way to the top of the caves because climbing takes forever. Now we're moving on to the crowbar boss I talked about before. The hitbox for this boss, when you see it, it's going to look like I'm just attacking the air because his hitbox extends about 50% past his body to the left. It's faster, but it's not marathon safe to attack from the right. But you basically have to run into the boss every time to hit him. But yeah, here we go. Just attacking the air. It's pretty fun. I'm gonna get over here, and we just do that one more time, and he's dead. There we go. The boss is actually a little hard to learn, but once you get him down, he's super easy. It's our first gold statue. That's for the level 3 Thief Guild, which is what the overarching strategy is to get that as fast as you can, because it is the fastest costume. I'm going to try a really hard jump here. And as far as I know, it depends on a subpixel being set right. It looks like I got it. It doesn't look like much, but that jump is insane. So going on to our level 2 Knights Guild. It's the same as the first, just more RNG. The RNG in these Knight skills comes from, it just has a tendency to spawn boulders on top of you as you're jumping through the air and just throwing you down a pit. So we're going to hope it goes well. we go. Good luck. Alright, I didn't die. I was like half a second off of dying there. These spear hitboxes are about 5 times as wide as the spear. Okay, for this hitbox, it's a little hard to explain, so I'll explain after the fight what I'm doing here. If I can get it anyway. There we go. So I have about 2 or 3 frames to hit the back button right before the boss hits me to manipulate how far I'm getting thrown. So the whole strategy there is to break off your attack and hit the back button like as his animation's going. The rhythm is really hard to get down, but if you do it just right, you always land right next to the boss and can keep hitting him while you have their iframes on. And then you have so much more health than the boss, so you can just kind of abuse those iframes. I check the AI on that guy so I can jump over him. Knock that guy off the way, and now we're going on to our third Wizard Guild. Or sorry, third Thief Guild. Excuse me. Wizard Guild is next. Alright, this is another good spot for donations if we got them. If we don't, feel free to get them in later, guys. There's another couple good spots. Auto-scrollers and marathons are always fun, aren't they? So if you guys like the music in this game, it's composed by a guy called David Weiss. He's the same guy who's done all the old Rare and Rare Manchester games. So all the Wizards and Warriors games, Battletoads, Snake Rattle and Roll. He did all the Donkey Kong Country games. He's really good. So let's see if I can get this one. It's the same as the Silver Thief, but like twice as much health. So I have to be really careful because I can actually lose this fight. Yeah, I'm too far forward there. Let's see if I can get the knockback one more time. No, I gotta have to wait a cycle now. It's really hard positioning right here. Alright, we gotta play it super safe, guys. I'm in the wrong spot again. Nah, we'll have to do it again. That's always unfortunate. But we padded the estimate just for stuff like that. If you don't get your position right, the boss just beats the crap out of you. The casual way to do that boss, unfortunately, is just like takes forever. Where you just like wait for his opening and then smack him like 5 times and then wait. I don't know what the design process was there for that, but we'll try it for the quick kill again. I'm gonna do a little bit more marathon safe strat this time, since we don't want to spend all day on this. I haven't missed that fight up in weeks, but as soon as people are watching. Alright, so now we're just gonna wait for the 2 daggers, and we're gonna let the boss have a whole cycle, and then it'll be safe. Alright, so we go here. Perfect. There we go. That went much better. I had to do it the safe way. It's not as fast, but it gets it done. Unfortunately, since I lost that guild and I fell off the other one, my health is pretty low. It should be fine as long as I don't take too much more damage throughout the run. So now we've got this big key. What the big key does is it opens up any door in the game, and it also makes you run really fast, just like big keys in real life, I guess. We're going to go back into the caves here. And we're going to fight another worm. I'm going to try kind of a hard jump here. Got it. So this boss always has the same pattern, that there is RNG in how he decides to shoot at you. And every once in a while he shoots at me right when I change my costume and I can't block it or dodge it. He's kind of a jerk like that. But other than that, yeah, it's the exact same pattern until he gets down to 2 segments. And then he just kind of does his own thing. I don't know. There's like a handful of different patterns you can do. You don't really know it until you start doing it. Keep missing him. Hopefully, I wanted the boss to die in the bottom right corner, which is why I was shooting like that. Because the second phase has the same pattern again. But where he spawns in the pattern depends on where the first swarm dies. So I really wanted to kill that one in the bottom right corner, just because that's the way I'm used to fighting him. Alright, it's not bad. That was pretty good. So you guys loving these sprites? They're really great. The guy who did the artwork on this did the same artwork for Wizards of Warriors 2, if you ever played that. He likes to do like big, really involved sprites. So I don't know how familiar you guys are with the NES or like how the boss battles usually work in those, but usually the bosses, and especially big bosses, aren't sprites. They're actually part of the background. And that has to do with hardware limitations. But in this game, most of the big bosses are actually just giant sprites, which is why they'll only have like 3 frames of animation. The guy just is a huge fan of giant stuff, I guess. The only exception to that is a dragon I fight later. So this is the hardest part of the game. I'm just going to be quiet for a little bit because these are really glitchy. The physics are really bad. But hopefully I can get it on the first try. Every time I fall down, though, I'm going to donate $5. Right there. See, like the physics don't work right. There we go. Okay, first try. Again, this boss has no iframes. So it's just mashing. Standing in the right spot and mashing. I tried to block those guys that shoot from the top. Once in a while they shoot too far in and you can't block. Alright, so that was the hardest part of the game. Anybody who's played this game before will agree. I never beat that one as a kid. I read through this game so many times I could never get past that part. I spent a lot of hours just learning how to do those jumps. Because you can't hit the corners of those things. They move around. As they're moving up, your momentum changes. And when you get to the top, like your momentum gets eaten as you try to jump. Like it's a mess. So I assure you that was actually pretty tough to do. So now we have one more guild to get, but our ultimate goal here is to rescue 3 princesses to get the key to the last boss, and this is our first of 3 princesses. So what they do is they ask you to marry them, and they don't let you say no. And if you say yes, they give you a jewel, and you need 4 jewels to unlock the door to the last boss. So it's kind of crappy of me to get engaged to 3 different princesses at once, but as I mentioned before, they don't let me say no, so I think it's really their fault. Yeah, it's 2019. People can do what they want. Yeah. Alright, so this is another one of those big axe bosses. We're going to try to juggle him without running into him, so I can't touch that axe. But if I do this just right, the boss will never get to talk, and he'll die by the door. Perfect, that was a pretty good fight. It could go a little faster. Alright, so coming up here is a really great spot for donations if there are any.
We'll just use this time to plug that we are, so all donations go towards the group called Able Gamers. You've probably heard of them.
Yep, Able Gamers is a great charity. They make gaming peripherals and controllers and stuff for people with disabilities, so everybody can play. Really great group. So this is the marathon safe way of doing this. You can go up here faster, but if you want to be safe and don't deal with RNG or anything, you just go to the side of the building and you hold down the B button. It's pretty fun. This is usually in the stream where I take a drink of water, you know, take a nice break. If I went up the middle, the reason I have to go all the way out here is that there's a bunch of birds that can spawn and they're faster than you. So when you're trying to meditate and fly up, those are the birds right there. If those birds hit you, you fall all the way back down. So the only way we can avoid them is to go all the way out to the side. Alright, so this is the last guild. It has the worst RNG of any guild in the game. So in the chats, if I could get some less RNG emotes, that would be fantastic. We're just going to hope everything goes well. Alright, didn't want to do that. I hit that thing earlier and I got off the pattern, so one more try here. There we go. That's the RNG I'm talking about. It just, the game's like, you're gonna fall now. Enjoy. We recovered okay though. Alright, we want to get hit by that. Come on. There we go. The easiest way to do that is just to get some iframes from the boulder. So we're gonna let this boss have one cycle, and then if you watch very closely, when he moves forward, I'm gonna move my hitbox on top of his, and he's gonna do some like E-Honda action. And what that means in the game is that he's rapidly going through his whole pattern and going back to his rest state so I can hit him again. It's just a little way to bug the, bug the AI out. But it's allowed in the glitches category. Alright, so we have to get... Alright, we're gonna have to go to the shop, I think, after we do the bonus boss, but it's not a big deal. It only takes a few seconds. I'm gonna try a pretty hard jump with the thief. Let's see if we get it. I think I'm a little too far... Nope, perfect. Oh yeah, and just in case we met our Wise Man incentive, this is the last call for that.
We did not meet that one.
Alright, that's fine. We'll get through the game faster. There's also a bid war, if anybody wants to get last minute donations in, for the last boss. So the last boss asks you at some point if you want to join or fight him. So if you join him, you fight the boss, you get the good ending. If you join him, you get the bad ending. So depending on what ending you guys want to see. Oh, no, it's the... Okay, so here's the bouncer incentive right here. You're gonna see some really funny animations here. Look at this attack he does. I'm just gonna cheese him out in the corner. This is some amazing work. Somehow he's hitting me from across the room. I have no idea what's going on in that fight. That's the bouncer. Thanks very much, everybody, for meeting that donation incentive.
We have a $10 donation from Wade saying, "Oops, I owe this from last marathon for coughing so much," and $10 from Sam Hunt.
Oh, that's my sister. Yeah. Nice. Are we at anywhere in the bid war?
Just checking. So currently Join is winning with $20 versus Fight at $5.
Nice. Alright, so actually we want to go up here and get the last princess. There's one princess in each area, one in town, one in the caves, and one in the palace. Now we are engaged to 3 princesses, who hopefully will not find out about that. Alright, now we're going to go fight a very fearsome looking 3-headed dragon. Incredibly scary sprite. If because small children probably get him out of the room because this is intense. The goal here, of course, is to beat the dragon in one try. There is a ton of RNG going on in here I've got to try to compensate for, but every once in a while the dragon is an enormous jerk and just throws you down the platforms and you have to fight him twice or more. There he is. Look at that. Look at that dragon. Scary, right? There he goes. Yeah, so as I mentioned, there's going to be glitches in this game, even though it's a glitches category. If he hits you and you don't block it just right, you hit, you start falling through the platform with your iframes, like that. It's like if you don't continuously jump at just it's fairly specific timing, you fall all the way down to the bottom. From a casual perspective, this dragon's quite easy. He only will ever do 1 damage to you at a time. From a speedrunning perspective, he's a little bit of a pain in the butt, and one of the biggest reset points, because if he knocks you down, I mean, it's 30 seconds or more to start over. But I think I am on pretty good pace compared to my estimate, anyway. Not on like record pace or anything. There's maybe 5 minutes left in the game after the dragon, so we should be a couple minutes ahead of time. The dragon has no iframes, but his vulnerable spot, the head, is constantly moving. You can only hit the head that's active. The other thing that makes this fight very hard is that you have to use your sword to block, but every time you block, you end up shooting. And you, because the sprite limit's on the NES, you can only have, I think, like four projectiles in existence at a time. So, come on, just die. So a lot of times you have a good opportunity to shoot the dragon, but you can't. Alright, so that's our last gem. We're going to go unlock the door to the last boss and do the climb. You guys have probably 2 minutes to do more donations towards that door. If you want me to join the boss and get a ridiculous animation ending, oh, didn't run. Need a little bit of a running jump here. There we go. One of the 80% runners, his name is Johnny C. Johnny C. Derp, he's from Germany, is working on a way to really optimize his climb by glitching into the walls. It wouldn't be allowed in this category, but it would work in any percent. Speaking of the glitches category, actually, there's only 2 of us who run this. So if anybody wants a free 3rd place win on speedrun.com, just go beat this game at all, and then submit the video, and you'll have a 3rd place run.
Even if it takes me 5 hours?
Even if it takes you 5 hours.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you'll keep 3rd place for a long time. Yeah. This category itself actually is only about 7 months old, too. It didn't exist until, I don't say, like February or March. This is another example of how the game is kind of unfinished. All these doors here, despite having dark graphics, do not require any special keys or anything to unlock. You can just go through them with no keys in any costume. So we mostly just stick around in our pajamas here and fly. I'm going to try changing to the Thief here. It's ostensibly faster, but the jumps get a little tricky because you're actually going too fast. Alright, I think I got him. There we go. There's a lot of changing directions. This game has a tendency to keep your momentum, so changing directions rapidly like that is tough. Alright, so there's 2 screens of each section, caves, town, and castle, so we're on our 2nd castle section. I'm going to go for what's called the alcove trick. Because the physics and math in this game is so good, I didn't get it. It's faster to levitate at an angle than straight up, despite what trigonometry would tell you. So we're just going to go straight up, do the easy marathon safe way. But you save a few seconds by doing it at an angle. Alright, so here we go. We're going to rescue the good King James, who the evil wizard Malkiel has replaced. And I need to know the bid war, like when these text boxes pop up here.
It is still $20 for join and $5 for fight.
$20 for join?
Yep. So join is winning.
All right, that's time. Yeah. The fool. Yeah. And we got the bad ending because he tricked us. So I don't know. We're a little bit ahead. So if we want to just, if you let this go for just a second, this scene is ridiculous. I want to shout out Jackie B and Dacicus the Tasser for this game. They taught me how to play, and probably Barton and Arcus and Cats on Your Head for getting me into speedrunning. Look at this guy. It's amazing. It scared the crap out of me when I was a kid, actually, but yeah, the good ending is just straight epilepsy-inducing flashing colors, so I don't know if this is better or not. But yeah, that's Wizards and Warriors 3. Thanks very much to the organizers for letting me run. Thanks for the translations, the restream, and everything. And hope everybody has a good day.
Yeah, thank you very much for running this.
Thanks.
Next up, we have Pikmin 3 by The Oblivionators, so stay tuned.